my movie.
Yeah. Take one.
And action.
I can link the audio and the video easier in post. Well, Shaw family, welcome to the SANDCAST podcast. You guys made it easy for me. Instead of having two separate pods, I get to have the whole family on. I get to cover the current events in sport on both the men's side and the women's side all at once. I appreciate it. I don't have Travis here, so
we did it without knowing.
Yeah, exactly. How are you guys doing?
Good, real good, honestly. Yeah, it's been quite the week and a half.
Right.
Yeah, honestly been really exciting, and then there's like the hangover from the tournament, you know, from last week, and for her it's a quick turnaround, quick turnaround.
We leave on Saturday for the Brazil tournament.
Sakurama, right?
Yeah.
So for the first one, she'll be there for both, and then I'm going to be there for the second one. So it's like, things are happening obviously really fast, and that's the name of the game. So we're.
Season
I think
takes off fast. My suitcase hasn't been put away yet, so that's probably what it's going to be like all season.
Yeah, that's all year long. So I mean, things have been great. Like Mexico went really well, and it was exciting for our family, and both of our families back home were pumped and fired up, and I think it's also like it's a fun stress for them to like be in it for like a week long
for sure
with both of us, and there's it's like nonstop. So hopefully they get more used to that too, and it's like it's less stressful, and
I think they never do.
Grandma's heart rate goes down eventually.
Now you guys set the bar.
I know.
So like
I know. Yeah, we got to keep the bar there.
So you're going to Brazil, and that means missing the qualifier.
Yeah.
What's the situation? I don't even know the situation there with Kelly and you guys. You're doing the league together?
Yeah, we're gonna do the second two,
got it.
and
hopefully get a wild card,
bet
maybe if you need it.
Bet on ourselves to do well in those two, and see how those go. But I know it's just like it's so sad that it's overlapping, but our main thing is world champs. Like that's what we're gunning for. So yeah. And then what's the situation with you guys? Missing a second?
No, we're planning
just jumping straight on that plane.
Yeah.
Right, because it's the week between.
Yeah, so I mean it'll be a quick turnaround from the first qualifier to Brasilia. Like planes right after that.
Right.
Like the day after.
And then you got some time to come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have a week. We'll have a week until the second one. Hopefully. Right. We do really well in the first one, and then don't have to either play or we don't have to worry too much.
Right.
You know.
Right. True.
So that's the plan.
Yeah.
Things are fluid always, but that's the plan
for all of us for sure.
Yep.
We don't have to play in the second one.
Yeah.
It'd be real nice.
Yeah.
But how has it been with a new partnership? Your partnership's kind of new.
Hers is much more new.
Yours is much more
Definitely
new.
Very new.
And maybe not expected.
Yeah, very unexpected by anyone.
How did that
me.
Right. How did that come about? Obviously, Sarah Hughes got injured.
Yeah.
And then did you know you were on the radar right off the bat?
Every year, no matter what, I send out some texts, get some feelers.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to play with Tony after our run.
Yes,
and
right.
It just didn't come to, so I was like, all right, I'm just going to send text and I shoot as high as I can. Like, I text everyone. Maybe people that others would be like, are you sure? And I'm like, why not?
Yeah, why not?
And I sent her a text in the fall, and I knew she was still with Sarah, but got to shoot my shot and keep her, like, on the radar.
Right.
She's like, sorry, I'm good. And I was like, okay, all good. Huge fan of her always. And then, the injury happened, and I don't really know too much background info, but we connected, and I was just like blown away. I was like, me? I was even like, are you sure? And she's been one of like dream partners that I've always wanted to play with, and for it to happen, it was so surreal for so long. I still feel like it's very surreal, and it's been going really great.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah.
Wait, how many podiums have you had Was this was your first event of the year? No, second, I guess.
This was of this year?
Yeah.
We didn't play in the first one, so this was our first.
Yeah. So how many podiums is that in a row?
In a row?
Because didn't you end the year with all podiums?
We made semifinals and got fourth, which stinks, but for this elite, but last year in a row 3, I think. I mean,
yep.
I'm like trying to think of other international
4
events.
semifinals in a row.
Yes.
Sorry,
Sundays. Yeah.
4 Sundays in a row on the World Tour.
Yeah, and I mean, we went into the event not really. Jordan kept saying the word, like, he had so much curiosity. There wasn't like, hey, I think we're going to do this or this. It was like, you know, we could go uno dos or we could do well. And I was more on the side of, I just want to break pool. Of course, I want to win every tournament, but that was like first goal in every game. It was like, beat this team. And it was very game by game.
Yeah.
And then when we got fourth, I was like, well, that was really cool.
I'll
take that. But yeah, it's like such a bittersweet feeling losing on Sunday.
I know. Yeah.
I hate it.
Totally. I mean, in my mind, I was like, the fourth is so good that I was just picturing it as a bronze too.
I know. I want to picture it like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, the difference between, I was talking about this with someone today, like the difference between the third and the fourth is so small. Like, and everybody's exhausted at that point in the tournament, and you're literally amongst everybody you're playing is Olympians. Like it is the cream of the crop. Like so I don't know, like the difference between the third and the fourth in a situation like that, maybe as opposed to like a world champs or an Olympics, where it's like, okay, we want to come home with the hardware because like this is what we've been training for years and years and years.
Yes.
I feel like I feel like the third and the fourth difference is like so minuscule.
Yeah, but it's also just one of the most ruthless things in sports.
Totally.
Right? Like, can we just give 4 medals?
I know. I said something like that
something?
Today. Yeah, I was like, to not just be on that podium, but I mean, the teams that were on the podium are so great. So I was like, rightfully so.
Well, I mean, your family had someone on the podium.
I know. Yeah. So I know. A goal of ours in our whole career is to get on the podium at one of the highest level tournaments.
Yeah, we thought it was going to happen this one, but
I was like, I'm sorry.
Well, it ended up neither of us were actually physically on the podium, so that was another.
Wait, I
another
just heard
thing.
Today. I just overheard people talking. So how did the tournament go physically?
It went great all the way through.
It looked great.
No issues. Like, obviously it was a really hot, windy. Like, you felt it when you were there.
Yeah.
It was
Sunday was the hottest day by far. It was less wind.
Yeah, Wednesday, the qualifier day was pretty damn hot too. Like, looking at the film on that, I was like, wow, this is bright.
I was pretty gassed.
It was like,
I was pretty gassed.
Yeah, it wasn't that windy, and it was like really heavy sun, and it kind of felt that way on Sunday too. But yeah, it was like the conditions weren't perfect, really windy, and then on stadium it wasn't that windy, so you just get the heat. And yeah, I mean, we played like 3 straight matches on the stadium to end it, so it was like a little more of that too. And I don't know, like part of it was just like the heart rate was like amped up the whole time because I mean, we played Sweden, and like to get up ready for that match. Oh, you don't have to get up ready for that match, but like coming down from that match, especially if you win, is like really hard to do. I didn't sleep the night after because I was just like, what the hell is going on right now?
Yeah.
And the next day or the next night, I guess the night before that too, I was like feeling that same way. So like there's a lack of sleep factor too. I think that probably factored in. But then Sunday was like empty the tank day.
Yeah.
And
you did that for sure.
Yeah.
Proved it at the end.
I didn't feel the cramping at all.
0.
And then as soon as I sat down and was like talking to her in the players area,
he went to move his chair closer to me, and
I just got up out of it for a second, and then my whole body was just like done.
Yeah.
And we all were like, okay, drama, James. Like,
drama.
We're like, we get it.
I mean, she was like looking at my leg, and there was like knots pulled up, like my quad was pulled up to the top, like
it was like
hamstring.
Something was inside of his body.
My ab was like popping out 3 inches. It was gnarly.
He was like yelling for an IV. I was like,
I feel like you can't, unless I've seen someone go through those full body cramps, you can't really imagine like how bad it is. Where you're seeing people's muscles like lump up and like they're just like cringing like
Yeah.
That's what he was doing. I don't cramp, so watching him I was like, I seriously was like, James, just like lay down. And then he did, and he didn't come out of it for like
just
an hour
lay down
and
and take a few breaths.
I was laying there like,
drink some water.
I can't move from this position.
It was funny.
So you couldn't get up and go on to the podium. That would have been a funny.
I tried one. Like I got up really quick.
Right.
You know, like I pounded a couple bananas, ate a bunch of whatever it's called, Salt Stick. Shout out to Salt Stick, my sponsor.
There you go. Nice plug.
Yeah.
Nice plug.
I think I had too much actually salt throughout the tournament, so that might have been one of the reasons why I was like a little bit lower on potassium. But anyway.
I know we were like, who's gonna carry him up there? I was like, come on, to his coach. I was like, come on, me. And
yeah.
James was like,
I sat up and I was like, nope, this is not happening. Like even if you guys carried me, it'd be so bad. Yeah. Like. Yeah, so I laid back down.
Just like blatantly like standing up.
I don't want that to be the case.
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen.
Wow, that's
that would have
wild.
been a bad sight.
It's crazy how I feel like that's been the case multiple times for me where I'm in a tournament, I'm just playing, going through it, playing, and then the second it's over, I'm like sick and incapacitated.
Totally.
Like for some reason your body's just like I'm just going to keep going. It's not going to even tell you that it's like messed up. And then after you're like, there's no way I could have done anything else more. But in that moment, if you had another match, you probably,
your mind probably could have tricked your body into
maybe would have allowed you to do it.
So impressive. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I've had that too. Really like for some reason, Manhattan last year, I was like not full body cramping, but like trying not to move so I didn't, but also like super sick.
Yeah.
And I just like couldn't get out of bed for the whole night. And I was like, if I made Sunday, which I was hoping to do,
I think
planning
you
on doing,
fine, you know,
like
it's crazy.
Yeah, right. Maybe
because
I've never not been fine. Sunday, and it wasn't like that much volleyball, but
it's like that just mentality of finally relaxing, like taking a breath, like okay, it's over, and then your body's like, oh, here we go.
Yep.
Crazy. Also, I mean, it was all new for you. New for the body, new for...
Yeah.
It's funny because, like, especially in beach, I guess, people come out to the beach later and, like, when they see the success now, I could see people being like, oh, look at this quick rise, you know? Mm-hmm. People probably don't realize, like, the journey that's led here. I mean, you were on the podcast for playing well back when we were at my old place.
Yeah.
You were on the OG SANDCAST.
Yeah.
Been on that.
She's in the book.
Oh yeah, I'm in the book.
You're so OG that you made the book.
So OG.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
But what is it like, I guess, now being on that grind? Obviously, your grind's a little different because you had to decide. You were good at both, so you had to decide what to do there. But then, you know, committing to that grind, the beach is like very daunting, I think, especially for people who grew up playing mostly indoor. Mm-hmm. And then sticking with it and persevering, and then now you get to this point where podium in the elite, and we'll get to beating Sweden as well. But how's that journey been for you? Both of you, actually.
Yeah, I mean, well, do you want
to? No, you go.
Okay. Because her path has been circuitous and long, and like, you know, she's worked like crazy, and so I honestly I draw a lot of inspiration from her in all of this. You know, if she can get through what she's gotten through and like beat out all the people she's had to beat out and find a way to prove all the doubters wrong, like I can do that, you know, like I have I have this perspective now coming from indoor that like things were given to me, you know, like in indoor things are set up. You got the travel set up, you got your physical plan is all set up. You don't have to worry about it getting a trainer. It's all set up. You got your contract, you're paid, you're good.
A coach.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay your coach.
They give you food.
Your coach is already paid for.
Coach isn't just your friend.
Yep. Yeah. So it's like I come from that, which is this nice cush, you know, situation.
Yep.
And knowing where I'm going to be pretty much every year, to now being like, you know, having to do all that and in a lot of ways too, like that kind of suits my personality. I've always been a little more independent and wanting to go off and sort of do my own things and find my own ways within the system.
Right.
And like, even when I was playing indoor on the national team, like I would be talking with Spara and with Ferbs, like trying to find ways for me to train on the beach while I was, playing in the middle of a national team season, or like in March when nobody's home and I'm like I'm one of the 4 guys back home because I just didn't want to go overseas that year or whatever.
Right.
So I've always felt like the beach style of like you are your own
whatever you
person.
Want to make of it.
Yeah. Like that always suited me. So I think like that is a sort of a personality trait or strength that helps me with that stuff.
Right.
But I mean it feels like it's just beginning, and that's the exciting thing. Like I still have so much to learn, so many brains to pick, and like, people like you that have been through a lot, ups and downs, finding your way, that and talking skills and tactics and stuff too. Like a lot of that stuff I'm just leaning on Chaim and Mike heavily.
Right.
Because I'm like, I just want to listen to you guys. You guys know way better than me. I might see something like, as a blocker, but like for the most part, Chaim's seeing everything back there because he's a defender.
Yes, exactly.
So
I still feel like I'm this year I feel like more of a beginner than ever. So I don't think it ever.
Yeah, you never get to that point.
I mean,
You're always
it's just different because every year you're different.
Is it because of like new partnerships that you
feel obviously a new partnership, that too. And I hadn't, first section of my career, I hadn't had multiple partnerships. I had 2 for 8-9 years. But also you're just getting older, or you're have 2 kids now, or your body's changing. The reps that you need is changing. The quality over quantity. Stuff just changes as you get older. And I'm just like, man, if I don't keep learning and like figuring, like I have to evolve every single
the game
year.
changes too,
and your game the game's changing. So then for me to go back and be like, I'm gonna play the way that I just go back to the way I was playing back then. It was like,
it doesn't work that way.
Because now the guys are bigger, or they're freaking running spread offenses and faster and
all that jazz.
So I was like hearing you be like, I'm such a beginner. I'm like, me too. I feel like it too.
I mean, honestly, that's like one of the most exciting things about the sport is that like we can all sort of be beginners again. Yeah. Like it could evolve in the next 2 or 3 years to something completely different from what it is now, and we could all find ourselves in a different spot.
It's like who can adapt and evolve.
Right.
Is kind of the game.
It's one of the I think it's one of the biggest skills in the sport. So that's But I mean, I think she is one of the biggest like proponents or benefiters of that too, because she is able to adapt and
I just feel like being on the smaller side, you kind of have to find a way to win.
And there's people definitely underestimate you. Just like naturally, like well, good luck, because like it's gonna be harder, so they're not calling unless you have that. I mean, obviously Kristen Nuss, but she also has a unique partnership where she came out dominating with that same partner, and such a
weird thing. I mean, playing at my first elite against people I've only ever watched games of and never have competed against was such a cool feeling, but also I was like, oh my god, I love you. But I look up to Kristen, I think, more than any defender. I'm like trying to think if I also love Mel, but I think Kristen is so interesting because I feel like there's so many people that are like, if you're short, you need to hit, and she knows how, and she does, but it's not her game.
Right.
And so she just makes people look silly. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the coolest part about her. I mean, she just inspires so many smaller players.
Are you one of those players who studies other players' games a lot? Like, okay, so you've broken it down. Taken and whatever you could.
Absolutely. And she just mind boggles me every time I watch her. I'm like, how are you saying what you're saying?
Me too.
But
like,
I think
why don't I just shoot like that?
I know. I'm like, why can't I do that? Right? But I think the cool part about Jordan, our coach, is that he looks at me and is like, I don't want to make you into someone you're not. I just want to make the skills that I know you're good at and make you do them better or more often.
Right.
And I think that's what I appreciate about him so much, because I've had a lot of coaches be like, you need to be this player, and I'm like, I can't
do it my way.
Yeah, I can't.
Yes.
I want to so bad, but I just like I can't. So that's the tough part.
Yeah, there's like I feel like I get stuck in this place of, oh, this is my game, but like make sure you add, like you should add this and add this and this. But then I always come back to like, that's making you kind of distracted from like what you're actually really good at.
Yeah.
And you should and want to keep expanding on your strengths, but like those are your strengths for a reason. Like you got to hold on to those. I don't know. It's a tough push and pull there. I feel like between those.
And there's finite, like as much, as we have a lot of time, like we don't have a limit on how much we can practice.
Right.
Or like, in some ways there is a limited amount of time, like especially during the season. I feel like there's a very limited amount of time. This week we physically just aren't able to practice 5 days a week.
Right. Exactly.
It's like picking out those 2 things you need to fix before the next competition.
But until we go again, and then if those weaknesses are even more glaring, or there's something we want to get better at as a team, it's like, well, we have to weigh that against the things that are like maybe more pressing, a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's the thing I hate, or not hate, but I've always wanted to change about the beach. I have a dream to make my own facility, but like it's so hard to go out there sometimes in the wind or the sand or the heat, the sun, and like there's so many extra elements where I'm like, can I just be a basketball player and go get 100 shots up without having to like crush myself?
True. Yeah. So true.
For us to get our shots up, like first of all, I need a setter.
Yeah.
Or I'm tossing it to myself. Okay, it works, but it's not really the same.
Yep.
And then I have to go shag those. Like I go down there with my 12 balls, and now I'm spending my whole time just running.
Cardio.
I'm doing cardio in the sand when I'm supposed to be resting. It's like it's so much harder on the beach. Like unless I can hire like some little minions. Like my daughter's not old enough yet, and she doesn't even. She won't even do what I say.
Put an ad out.
Yeah. Put an ad out for some minions.
Yeah, sure, people would do that.
But if I had that facility, you have ball catchers, you're hitting it into the like indoor too, right? Like it's a bit easier.
Absolutely.
You can go in there and you can set your 100 balls into the hoop.
Yep.
Like for us, like that target, like I just want that rep.
Yep.
And it's so hard to get.
Yeah.
So
unless you want to shag balls.
I haven't even really told you this either. I mean, we've talked about it, but
is now the time?
Now's the time.
Sure on a podcast?
Should we press pause?
Yeah.
we have a place in Portland, Oregon too, and there's not like you've got Seaside up there, like there is a community up there, but it's more like dispersed, and then they all converge on that town during that weekend.
Is Portland near the beach?
No, it's like an hour
from Seaside.
It's an hour from Seaside.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard good things.
I think it's 2 hours. No. You've never been. All good.
Yes, I have. Okay. Anyway, agree to disagree. Fact check us. I feel like there is an opportunity. I mean, we've been to a couple places around the country that are kind of like this, where you wouldn't expect there to be volleyball.
Right.
Beach volleyball. Mm-hmm. And there's an indoor facility with maybe some outdoor courts. Mm-hmm. And, somebody who's passionate about the sport wants to invest in it and like build a space, have the pros come. I feel like, I don't know, Portland could be like a perfect place for it's not too far away. It's same time zone. Like, it's not going to be good weather. So like we might as well just have some indoor courts.
Right. Yeah. No, for sure.
And like 3 or 4 courts inside. If we, you got somebody like us who, it's people want to go places and do training camps anyway, and
that'd be a crazy place to go.
I mean, it'd be a lot of fun.
Not in a bad way, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
it could be fun.
Yeah, like
I've always wanted to actually check out Portland.
Yeah, get a couple houses.
You've never been to Seaside?
No, that's a bucket list. I'm kind of like I had like a fast. I went straight from indoor to like playing with John Hayden.
Yeah,
and like just not playing any of those.
You're like, I don't need those.
Yeah.
Those
were kind of like fun and like if you have time kind of thing, but I was like already on the world tour.
Yeah.
It was just like
it's too much time to make it happen.
Yeah.
Yep. those people are obsessed.
And Hayden definitely wasn't going to go play anything more than he already was.
Yeah.
But I've heard good things about Portland, and also Seaside's like one of the sicker events.
Legendary.
Yeah.
They almost added it to AVP at one point, right?
I heard that too.
I was hoping they would.
I mean, it would make a lot of sense. I just think like infrastructure for being able to house all the athletes would be one thing.
Right.
And I think they also like the idea of Seaside being like the biggest volleyball tournament in the country or whatever, with the most courts. Yeah. So like they like their vibe. I think, I don't know, I won't speak for them, but it seems to me
just
like
based on seeding, you get like the first like 5-round bye
or
something. Whatever it is.
Yeah, keep it the biggest tournament, and then just like throw the pros in there
crazy
too.
Buys all the way to the top.
Don't kill us.
Yeah. That'd
be cool.
I don't know. Yeah, that would be cool.
We get a little soft as we're pros. You're like,
yeah,
I'm not playing more than 2 matches
a
day. No. I haven't done that in a long time. But coming up is like CBVAs and stuff. You're playing like 4 or 5.
I mean, in the AVP qualifier, how many games would?
4, I think.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, that's a lot of games in one day.
Yeah, we're like, guys, we haven't done that since we were like much younger.
I don't actually know. Is it?
It's
to
the
21?
15. It's the 15.
Okay, that's
so
not
it's a little
as bad.
shorter.
It's a quick
yeah,
game.
but still, you go to 3, you're still playing more than 2 sets.
Yeah.
Equivalent of 2 sets to 20.
A lot of those are going to be deep scoring, you know.
To 21 probably.
Yeah.
Maybe 30.
They're still going to go 28-26.
Right, exactly.
One of those sets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun day.
I'm curious if they're gonna put out like stands or anything, because I think it's down at Newland Beach, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's not a proper Huntington Beach venue.
No.
Definitely going cheap on it. A little cheap.
Yeah.
Let's just get these done one day. 4 matches, you're fine. Go down by Newland and grind it out.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, the tough thing is too, like half the teams are going to be gone by 10 a.m. You know.
Right. That's
true. So like, they probably aren't planning on like getting the draw that from people that they normally would get.
I wonder if they're going to announce it, like that it's happening. Like, hey, go down to Huntington and watch.
Well,
there's been like some like
Instagram post, a couple Instagram posts
here and there,
that
are like the debut on April whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they also put Kelly in one of the pictures, and Kelly won't be there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
False advertising.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be a unique and interesting day, and this the second one too.
Yeah,
it's going to be.
I know. The league looked fun last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very fun. We were all just right there.
Yeah, I mean it'd be so awesome. It'd be so awesome to be in that for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And it's but a bit easier on the men's side from what I'm seeing, right? The women's side is gnarly because there's less spots available too, right?
There's 2 women's teams that are in.
Only 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kylie and Haley and Tony and Gina. There's no one else that's confirmed because April and Alex and then Kelly and Sarah.
Oh, okay. So there's more spots available for the women.
It's just like if you get to a point, if all the teams do well as they should, that end few games it's like an elite.
Yeah, you're playing an elite or like a.
You got like AVP 4 of the top 10 teams in the world playing for one spot each day.
Yeah, what a thing,
That's wild.
Yeah,
the men's side's not equally as tough in my opinion, but like still really gnarly no matter how you cut it.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we have 5 spots available.
Yeah.
So the girls have 6 spots available.
I think so.
But just. Yeah, super gnarly.
Yeah.
The fact that Taryn and Kristen are in it.
Yeah, Taryn, Brandy, Therese. Yeah. So
you guys.
I mean, there's so many great teams that I only named like the top of the top. Like the Elite USA.
There's so many good up and coming teams.
There's so many good teams that you slip up just a little.
Yep.
They get a few trickle aces. You can't come back. It's a game to 15.
For sure.
I'm like, oh god.
And like. With the pipeline of these young athletes coming up, you don't know which one's the next.
Yeah.
That top player, right?
Yeah.
And on that day, they might decide to show you that they're that player, and you can be underestimating them a little bit.
Absolutely, like a tough seed or something.
We had like 10 teams, 12 teams in the first challenger, U.S. teams.
Yeah.
Right? Like how many girls teams?
I mean, look at
it was a total of 20 USA.
If you look at the
20?
elite, even the elite too, there were 7 U.S. teams who made it out of pool, or something like that for the
Yeah,
girls.
it was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
I mean,
so
that's unbelievable. Like,
it's really cool for our country for sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
We're
obviously
good,
obviously the women are in great shape.
I would give
country.
credit to USA's dev program, but it's all NCAA.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, they're getting the best coaching in the world.
I know. Those coaches are the best.
That's actually a good point. It's
Yeah.
crazy at the pro level, like, as much as we want to be, independent and on our own, like, it's really hard to come across a top tier coach as a pro now, because they're going to go take a paycheck.
100%.
And stability and health
Yeah.
insurance and
Yep.
not having to travel as well, I guess not quite as much.
Yeah, they
Not
travel
as
in the
far.
summer more often, I feel like, to...
Yeah, maybe, but they're not going as far, right?
Yeah.
So we're losing a lot of these coaches to
Yeah.
the NCAA. It'd be nice to have some of these out here.
Back.
You got to drive, to San Diego every once in a while to get to your coach?
Yeah. 2 or 3 times a week. Yeah. I mean, it's been worth it for sure.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, Mike's an incredible coach.
he is an awesome coach, and he pushes us really hard, so we're not wasting our time down there either. So that's like, yeah, it's definitely worth it for us is being with him and but yeah, it's obviously I would like it to not have to drive to San Diego, but I mean,
something.
Yeah, it's always gonna be something.
Yeah,
like we can't have it perfectly, and even still, like during the year, during the season, we're gonna be traveling so much anyway that he'll be there with us most of the time, and when he's not with us, then we've kind of got that process dialed in of like, okay, here's the film from practice today. Like, he might give us a plan for the day, and so that's sort of how the balance goes. Right. I think, once you have that, once you sort of like have that good solid system in place and everybody's on the same page,
right,
that's when good things happen
and it starts flowing and all that. When did you feel like things kind of clicked for you and Chaim? Was it more this year, towards the end of last year? I know end of last year was kind of tricky in terms of what you could play in.
Yeah,
I know you guys got those challengers in.
Yeah, those were all good. I would say good finishes for us, not like a breakthrough or anything.
Because you didn't have much points at all at that point, right? Or you had like, did you have like Norseca finishes?
He had some points left, so we were major on all of those, right? Yeah.
Right. Okay.
You had like Norseca.
Kind of barely.
Yeah,
though.
you had like
lower. You went
small.
to Stad, didn't you? And like played in that one round. I mean that.
Oh yeah, I had like I think, was it a 5th or 7th in China? Yeah, that was my first challenge. So like, I had like 1 or 2 decent finishes. I had a win at a Futures and Norseca.
So that's pretty good.
Oh yeah, it was close. It was close enough to Chaim. Yeah. So yeah, we were set up decently well. Those tournaments are like at the end of the year, they're just never as deep. So okay, there's gonna be a few more slots that we can move up.
It's kind of almost like a blessing. Like, I was trying to take a full break, obviously, but like missing the league, let's say, or like taking off that middle of the year, like you're fresh and like ready to go at the end of those. Versus other teams are like,
really help.
Man, I'm trying to call it.
Yeah. And there were a few teams there at those events too, American teams too, that were just like totally not wanted to be there. Yeah. And so that was a real advantage for us to be like, no, we just started building. Like, this is fun. We're seeing how it goes. Like, we haven't done anything yet as a team. Yeah. Haven't really had this like the first success yet. So it was like it was much more easy to just like low bar, high ceiling kind of thing. Yeah. And then it went really well. Or it went well, I would say. Like a couple breakthrough matches, and then.
Did you guys have a coach at that point?
We were working with Jose. Yeah.
Oh, Jose.
We were. I mean, we were.
But he wasn't traveling.
No, he wasn't traveling. Right. He was super busy with UCLA. And, I mean, he still is. So it's he's got another gig. He's got the health insurance. He's got the paycheck.
One day he shows up to practice after 3 years. Hey guys, UCLA.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
Yeah. See you later.
We didn't have to explain.
Yeah. No, exactly. I mean, like, it was the same sort of thing when we finished those tournaments. After that, we basically told him, like, look, you know, you're busy. Like, we don't necessarily need to, like, nobody needs to feel bad here.
Yeah.
We can just kind of move on and go our separate ways. And, like,
sure.
we really appreciated him. You know, with what he did for us. In the end of the season with the AVP, and he's like for me he's a really good, like, motivational.
For sure.
I mean, you can speak to that too, but like makes you feel really empowered, especially during a match, and gets that fire out of you.
Yeah. Because he's like a player's coach, right?
Yep.
Like, he can relate. You know that he's been out there on that stage in that moment already, and he's
almost like amped up to go do it himself too. He's like,
for sure.
Let me out there.
Yeah. He always said he's like, man, try it when you coach. You have to kill the player.
That's literally what was on my mind. I was like, yeah, I've heard him say that.
He says that all the time, right?
Yep. Yeah.
The fact that it keeps coming up in his head just shows you how much
he's having a hard time with it. Yeah.
Player, you can't kill him.
Having a real hard time with that.
Did you guys have a coach in that China run, or Asia run? I guess it was.
No, Tony and I think trained like twice before we left, and that was it.
Right.
We were like, we're our coaches.
Let's just wing it.
We are the coach.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one reason why I think you're going to be a really good coach at some point.
Oh, don't say that. I don't know yet.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
So no coach, and then you guys went on that run. Yeah, it's so interesting because you've jumped around partners and had found success, which probably is what Kelly saw. She's like, when you're switching partners, there's a common denominator here. But how's it been for you in terms of your game and not peaking, but continuing to grow and like raise the bar for yourself?
Yeah. I mean, those 3 events, I felt like, I don't know if you guys can relate. I feel like I haven't been on the world tour enough, so those events, I was like, we'll see what I can do. Like, we'll see if I fit in here.
Right.
They were in the qualifier for every single one, too.
Sometimes it's a great mindset, right?
Yeah, I was like, so I feel like every event up until then, I was like, I don't know if this is for me. Like, I still need to figure it out. And then by the end of it, I was like, no, I'm doing this. Yeah, it was cool. I mean, the way that it all went down, and after that, I was like, I don't care what it looks like or how I get there or who it's with. I want to see what these next 4 years looks like. And even if it's like I have a partner now and then that changes and shifts and I have someone else for like that last year, just to be in the position to make a run, even though I've never really done that, to attempt and see how hard it is. I think that will be one of the coolest things that I'll ever get to do. But yeah, like I said earlier, playing against girls that I've only watched film on, or like watch them play against like Therese, who's one of my best friends, like watching her play them and then me actually play against them. Like Riza, we trained against her a ton the week before, and I'd never seen her in person, and she walked up and I was like, oh my God, like, I love you.
That's so
She's
funny.
such a good player, and I think that's, like, I always want to stay humble and like stay in that mindset, because I don't want to get to the point where I'm like thinking I'm a hot shot but that's also a cool quality to like walk into something and be like, I don't care if you don't know me, you're gonna know me after this.
Right.
So I think that's something I had to switch my mindset when I got to the tournament. I was a little like, like I just saw Dudo, oh my God. And then as the tournament went on, I was like, okay, I belong here, my partner has been here, like bring that confidence, flip the switch.
Now I'm gonna go show you.
Yeah, so that was cool.
Yeah, I remember moments like that as well early on, where I was like, when I realized that, I was like, oh, like they're just who they are because they've been here long. You know, they've had the opportunities and they've capitalized on it. I'm just not, I just haven't done it yet. So I just got to go out there and do it.
Yep.
Totally.
And having that moment where you're like, oh, I do. You got to get there and you got to earn it, right? To say that you belong and that you're capable of that. But yeah, once that happens, you're like just straight fire.
Yeah. And I think going into a lot of the games, having a good game plan is so valuable, and it makes the other teams look so much smaller. Like I remember when you were going into the Sweden game, because everybody was kind of chit-chatting about like, what did you guys do? Like, what were you talking about? And I don't know if, are you okay if I share
the game plan. How do you beat Sweden?
Yeah.
No,
this is how you beat Sweden.
Yeah. Anyways, listen up.
Make a YouTube short of it. It'll go viral.
It's so easy.
Yeah.
No, it's so easy.
It's
but
really just the plan
I know
we
that
came
there
up
was
with.
a piece of it was like serve very aggressive, have them off the net, and I think like that's easier said than done because sometimes they can like go against that and be like, okay, we're gonna have the best passing day ever.
For sure.
And so all of a sudden that game plan is like gone.
Yeah.
But I think when you have that game plan and it's working out for you, and all of a sudden the team that looked so mighty is now not mighty in that game, maybe, and maybe not the next.
Right.
But it's such an empowering feeling of like, oh, we got the game plan right, and things are clicking. Even if you've never played the team or it's our first tournament and stuff. So it's a cool feeling. Yeah.
I mean, and sometimes too, like things have to go right, like
for sure.
Like you can have a great game plan and your focus could be on the result and how you're looking and how you feel and things can go sideways really quickly.
Totally.
Like I think
serve well, but then the wind's crazy and
you're serving out, you're like, wait,
and if you're thinking about it a little too much,
you're like, but I can't even toss the ball straight
you
up.
miss a couple serves, you get a little wigged out.
Right.
I mean, if your mindset about that too is like kind of the wrong way, it's you're thinking like, gosh, the wind is really affecting me today. Like, where if you switch it to like they're feeling the wind just as much, maybe more. Like maybe it's affecting them more. The fact
Loyola,
that it's weird.
That sounds like a Loyola trained athlete because you always be like, "Hey, bad for us, worse for them."
Worse for
them. I love that. That's fun.
Yep.
All his one-liners.
Yeah, I mean, if you just like
down?
if you flip, that's a big key for me too, and I think that like really affected things this last tournament too, which was like conditions aren't that great right now, but I also know like we just trained in those conditions for 2 months,
right?
Like you and I were out there on that day when it was just like howling wind.
Heard about that?
It was 45 degrees and pouring in our face. Like those are the kind of days where you build that confidence in those matches where like
been there, done that.
Yeah,
kind
of
I can do this, and I know I can do it a little bit better than you.
Day, right?
Yeah,
that's why
literally.
You Sweden.
Yeah, right. And that's how you do it.
And that's how you do it.
Like some you just never know what other teams are how they're training, what they're doing, what their mentality is, and if you put yourself in that place of like, I know at the very least that they're not going to be feeling better than me about the situation right now. Yeah. Like they might feel just as good, but like I'm set up myself to be locked in and dialed in this match.
Yeah. No, I mean, sports is all mental, right? We all create these stories in our head.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the wind's heavy. It's so shitty. We're playing bad volleyball. It's like, yeah, but what if you're a good wind team?
Yeah.
Then shouldn't you be celebrating it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Wind.
So
and there's certain teams at the tournament too that were like that. Like there's a lot of
Adrian Carambola when we played in Cancun, the bubble. It was like that. The wind was like that.
He was great.
He podiumed like all three.
Yeah.
And that was like clutch time Olympic points.
Yeah.
Going down in that kind of wind.
Yeah.
In the bubble, like the weirdest thing. And he just went off, like just destroyed people in it. So like his mindset was like, yes, more wind the better.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yep.
Which you'd think would be a good mindset for a lot of these teams, especially at the pro level. Like if you're a beach volleyball player, you probably play in some wind.
Yeah.
The thing I'm surprised with is how these Euros who play indoors in the winter, they come out and play well in these conditions.
Yeah, I mean that's where it's too.
Maybe they have fans like built into the wall, like giant fans. I'm just picturing on the wall. Just
it is really
turn all
impressive.
20 on.
Yeah,
I honestly I think too. Like, I mean, you know, a lot of them go down to like Spain and Portugal and train
they do.
in the off season.
And it is windy in Tenerife.
So I mean, like the teams that went there, for instance, did a lot better than maybe the teams that didn't.
Maybe, yeah.
You know, so it's so hard to know. Like
Cuba plays great wind ball.
Yep.
Always,
Yep.
Which like for two big dudes to play that good a wind ball is.
I mean, growing up in Cuba, it's gonna be windy all the time.
They're just on the islands.
Yep.
So crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, it's wind aside though, like the mental part for me in that match too was like dialed in on the game plan and like figure out how to get myself there. And then it was just like play free. And it honestly kind of has to be that way to beat a team like that, or to beat Mullensorm. It's like you gotta just be like, okay, they're probably gonna kick our ass, but maybe they won't.
Yeah.
You know,
and that underdog mentality sometimes frees you up, right?
It helps a lot sometimes.
Versus being in their situation where, like, I can't lose to anyone in the world.
Yeah.
Like, any team that beats me in the
a
whole
tough place
world
to be.
is like a, it's
which is why, man,
literally
it's
a
so
headliner.
impressive how like the runs that those guys have had.
They're just the best. Yeah.
It's like, just serve hard.
Yeah.
Everyone's YouTubing. How do you beat Sweden?
Yeah.
We are telling you right now, serve aggressive.
I mean, like Mike and Cam,
don't let them pass anything.
We literally trained this whole offseason like thinking, okay, what are the Swedish guys doing? Like, how can we sort of like emulate a little bit of what they're doing?
Right.
And he talks to what's their coach's name again?
Razzie.
Yeah, Razzie. He talks to him every once in a while just to like kind of pick his brain and see if he can glean a couple things here and there.
Man.
And like it's just so funny. I mean, the point being, like, you could be in that position in the top team in the world, and you probably know that every team around the world is like, they're gunning for you.
They're basing their
entire offseason
like,
has been around you, beating you.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Compliment, but also just like,
scary.
Yeah. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure.
They're doing it well though.
Yeah.
They know you better than you know yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, those guys have evolved the game, really. And I feel like you guys actually, you can tell that you guys have sped your offense up, and you don't have to, I mean, you can see what we're seeing playing, but I feel like it's funny seeing you set too. I'm like, I feel like James is setting more indoor style now.
Yeah.
It seems like very much in your wheelhouse.
It is.
It is so indoor.
Just from a different side. Yeah.
Right. That's true. I didn't think about that. It's backwards.
I mean, when Ken goes behind me and I'm facing the net, that's kind of more natural for me. But otherwise it's like this ball to the to the pin.
I forgot that.
Over there.
I know,
that's
when
how
you
long
go
it's
set,
been
I'm
since
like,
I played indoor.
Is so
interesting.
Footwork took me a while. I mean,
What about the indoor hands? Because it's so funny. You always think like indoor setters would be great setters on the beach, like, because they've just been setting so many balls, and then you see some that were just like, I can't even use my hands.
Yeah. Because
obviously it's changed also a little bit over the years. Works better for you guys now with faster hands.
Yeah.
But like, how has it been for you? I don't think you've had too much problem.
I mean, you could probably say too, like, because she watched me play indoor in Germany that year, the last year that I played, and it was obviously vastly different.
You changed your indoor hands had changed because you had played beach before? Because you went college.
I don't know that I ever
beach indoor
beach. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know that I ever got really that beachy the first year around.
I just feel like when you like came back from Germany, when you kind of like went back to indoor and came back to the beach, your fingers just would get like stuck in the ball, and the ball would like rotate funky, and then all of a sudden something clicked, and I remember at a tournament, multiple people kept coming up to me like, did James do something different with his hands? They look so good all of a sudden. And I'm like, I don't know, but you do have a very like a fast release comparative to a lot of the players.
Yeah.
Like, you don't.
That's what they want.
Yeah.
That's what they.
Yeah.
And you get away with some spin on yours because you're just like.
Yeah. I don't put up a perfect ball every time.
I actually used to deep dish a lot, and then I realized that they started calling. So now I'm just like, and I don't like it because it feels uglier to me.
Yeah.
I used to be a purist.
Yeah.
But now I'm just like, oh, just get your hands off of it. Like, if I feels deep, I'll just let go low, just to like get my hands off.
And then you look at the referee,
and then it spins a little, and they don't call it. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna do that even though
this makes no sense, but
feels
perfect.
Ugly. Yeah, exactly.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, to get technical too, like I watch her set, and it's a lot of like pushing through here, and as an indoor setter, you're like here, there. It's like a little bit of elbow, a little bit of flick, a slight bit of shoulder, but like, yeah, if you're talking about a beach set, it's like there.
Yes, right.
And
I think no wrist. You're just bracing.
Yeah,
it
it's like
a
wrist. Bowling ball.
Yeah. That's how I feel like it. Like, I'm all legs when I set. I'm like, I'm just gonna catch it here, and then jump through it.
Yeah.
Basically, it's kind of.
That's so.
If
what
it's
I
like
do, yeah.
if it's like high and like one of those things that you just muscle through it.
Yeah.
Because really, like obviously location's important, but you're really just trying to get that spin off of it on the beach.
For sure.
Totally. And it's going to be interesting to see how we all set now after having trained for a long period of time with the Mikasa and then going over to the Wilson,
right?
Having to deal with the tighter call too, like.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Are they tight?
I have no idea what.
I haven't heard any difference.
I have no idea.
I can't argue to refs anymore. I just go to them and be like, "Is that the rule?"
Yeah,
they're like double. I'm like, okay, sure, that sounds right.
my new thing, I want to be the first one to test is the one-handed, because they can't call a double.
Yeah,
and we've talked to some refs and they're like, "Yeah, it's not a double. Technically, we can't call it." Well, what if I flick it? It's not a lift either. So,
they like blow the whistle and they're like
no one's gonna do it. No one's gonna do it.
Yeah.
They're
like, I'm gonna get the rule book out.
I just want to try it just to.
Yeah, let us know how that goes.
Might cost me a point. I
Just 1 point.
Calculated. It's got to be calculated.
I mean, the funny thing is too, like you've done this with some refs before too, and talking to them before the match, just to set this, like, what's the standard? What's your standard?
It's a good call, actually.
Some of the refs are like, my standard. I'm like, say it.
Yeah, I want you to say it again.
I hear it right now. So that when
let me get this in writing.
I know what you're calling.
I'm gonna call you out too if you do it wrong.
Yeah, that's funny.
So I mean, I feel like you could just go up to a ref before the match and
That's
be like,
true.
"Hey, I'm going to do this
right
for one time.
Yeah,
Are you going to call me or not?"
That's true. Yeah. Also, I haven't been practicing it, so
yeah,
it's gonna be ugly.
It might be a bad. It might be a bad call for me to do that. Maybe not in this one day single elimination qualifier.
I don't know.
I'll save it for the league.
Perfect. Yeah.
Qualify and then do it.
There you go.
Yeah.
This is the next evolution of the sport.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be. That's
really
like kind of what I'm thinking. Is it's funny because jump setting was like, I used to do it just because I felt like I was like a rebel almost, especially with Hayden. He was very like, stop goofing around, like do everything right.
Yeah.
But I'd be like jump set every once in a while.
Yeah.
Like, that was fun, right? Cool, right? But I know I'm not gonna do it like at the wrong time or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, and I did it in a match or two, got the guy to jump, and it was like full, like that was the highlight reel. And then it just became the sport. I was like, I could have been doing it the whole time. I could have been the
guy.
Starter.
I could have been the original Swede. Yeah, my Swedish blood was coming out before I even knew.
That's so funny.
But yeah, no, it's interesting to see where the evolution of the game will be like. What's going to be that next thing?
Yeah.
Probably not. Maybe not one-handed setting. That's just not a good idea.
I mean, it may
unless you're up at the tape, obviously, like an indoor setter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just steal it and bring it back.
I could see you doing that.
Well, I mean, gosh.
We're gonna need to.
Then you might get called. Then you might be getting called because then you're like playing it in the plane of the net.
Over the plane.
Then they can just call a tip or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if it goes over,
let them make a normal call. Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyways.
What is it? This?
We'll see.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. What would happen if you brought it back?
They're like, they literally
bring another ref on.
Yeah, I gotta get a ref on the show.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Just go through the rule book. That brought up another thought though. I do feel like the evolution of the game is going towards. I mean, on the guys' side, maybe on the girls' side too, but a lot more jump spin serving, like trying to serve tougher, missing probably a few more serves.
Yeah.
Because offense
went, right? Like the last, I guess, a decade or so, where they're like, no, actually, you can miss.
Yeah.
As long as your ace to miss ratio.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, with how difficult now, I think offenses are to stop.
Right. Yeah.
That becomes like the way to beat a team.
Right.
Like the overarching, like whatever a team is doing doesn't matter.
Yeah. Sweet system.
Yeah.
You can't run it.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's one way to do it for sure. If you have that jump serve.
Write that down. Everyone.
That's how you do it. Just get aces every time.
Yeah. Simple as that.
I'm also curious, like, what's it's funny because I've always been like, with me and Gabby, I've always been like, I'm glad that she's outside the sport. So I can step away from the sport when I want to. We have this dynamic and been together long enough to where I know I don't the success I'm having in volleyball doesn't necessarily translate to her having success. So it's like, let her be on her journey. Let me be on mine.
Yeah.
even though like I'm always like, well, in volleyball I did this, and that, you know, and I realized eventually I'm like, that's not your role here.
Yeah.
Like, at least that's our dynamic.
Yeah.
But I'm curious how it is for you guys, because you literally do the same thing, like play the exact same sport, and you're together like during tournaments.
Yeah, I think that we've had ups and downs. I think maybe every other volleyball couple can agree with that. It's
there are a lot of now.
Yeah, it's like a very weird dynamic, but it's really cool. And I think being married, like we've been able to figure out a system that works for us. And you know, sometimes I don't want to say fail, but you have an off day of like with it. But I think we're learning how to treat each other at tournaments more than anything, because I'm very like focused, and sometimes I forget that you know, I have to say goodnight to James or something, and then he's like, I haven't seen you all day, like what's going on? I'm like, oh god, you're right. And sometimes it's reversed. So I feel like he keeps me very grounded and gives me a lot of perspective, because I can really dig myself in this hole of like volleyball, that's it, and he like yanks me out of it, and it's very helpful. But those are like my first thoughts.
Well, I think a couple things come to mind too. Like the most important part for us has been celebrating the really good, like cool stuff about it. You know, and this week was a perfect example. Like we're both in our first elite main draw at the same exact time, you know, not that far from where we live, so we're not like outside of our family's time zones and stuff, so we're getting all that reaction too. And like reveling in that moment. I think that's like the most important thing, because if we're not having fun doing it together, it's going to be a disaster. Like we're just going to be focusing on all the bad stuff about it. Which like I think it's natural human nature to want to athlete nature maybe to compare and compete, and when we're on the volleyball court, we're in that space of like, I'm competing against everybody I'm playing against. And you know, like if I get more whatever exposure, have more success, am doing better at the time, like it can get kind of it can be a downer for the other person.
I can see that.
And that's like that's common, I think, in most athlete relationships. But I think also when we sort of take ourselves out of that moment, or it takes a little bit of time or whatever, we end up in a place of like mostly just gratitude that we're both able to do it, and do it at a really high level. I think it also helps to be both at the same level at this point. Like
it is interesting how you guys' paths are
it's very bizarre.
Similar.
It's bizarre and it's not. I think we both push each other. That's another part of it. We both push each other to do more and be better. And that's I think if you do it the right way,
you can like relate choices through her journey, right? Like she's been doing it longer on the beach, and you've been. It's not like you don't know what the beach is like. You got to see it and kind of live. Like, okay, I saw her do it.
Totally.
Now I can kind of
in another situation. In like another situation, it might be like she might not understand because she's not a volleyball player. She might not understand me being so dialed into a tournament and not wanting to go do something else while I'm at the tournament, or like
being too tired after practice,
not wanting to talk.
I don't want to hang out and talk or do anything right now.
We like totally understand that piece of it. And
so that's like another piece that we don't have to worry about.
Yeah. But I think the coolest part about all of this is just like looking back at what life looked like when you first came on the beach, and both of us were kind of just like at a really like beginner spot. Even though I'd been doing it, I was just like kind of back to square one a little bit. And we were like, man, this would be really cool if we made this work. Like, this would be awesome. And as like each year went by, there's new challenges and things that we face, injuries maybe, and to look back at those conversations to now, and I'm like, what in the world? How did this happen? And our families are just like, over the moon about all of it. Like, you guys are traveling together, fun. And I'm like, yeah.
I mean, that's actually another cool part of it too. Like, I don't get to bring the family. I get to pick like 1 or 2 every year. Now it's even harder and more kids.
Sure. Yeah, totally.
But like, Gabby's always come to like, she picks her favorite spots on the tour and stuff. But
she should.
And everyone's like, you're traveling the world. It's the best job ever. I'm like, yeah. Be nice if I could bring family or like be with Gabby instead of like this other dude all the time that we get sick of,
Yeah, your partner, you're like, can you leave the room for a little bit?
Hey, bro, like, you freaking close the door when you take a dump, you know? So, I mean, and I think we probably, at least I do, probably take it for granted, like all these years of traveling. Where I started talking about it, like, it's like, I have to travel. I got to go. And they're like, people are like, we feel so bad for you. I'm like, well, I've been there 4 times. So they're like, I'd rather go somewhere else, or you know.
Yep.
But at the same time, you get to travel the world with your significant other, which is pretty dang cool.
And you get to be there for the success of the one or both, and then also like having each other at a tournament. If someone has a bad game or a bad tournament, just like having that support system, be there in the flesh is like the most comforting thing.
Totally.
But we can't get too used to it because he won't be at every tournament I'm at and vice versa. So it's like when it happens, it's like, oh my God, I need you right now. But also like, being able to see each other like in the fall for him, probably witnessing me get medals and like vice versa this tournament. It's like, even if I had the worst tournament in the world, I think just bringing perspective of like how far he has been able to come, and me too, and just watch that in person is just like the most surreal moment ever. I cried after he won the medal. I'm like, why am I crying? It's so embarrassing. I'm like, no one look at me.
He's crying because he's cramping.
You're crying. I'm crying because I love him.
He's like, oh no, help me.
So it's cool. It's a cool dynamic.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's the stakes are higher now, obviously. So like maybe feelings will get more fierce or stronger. And emotions will be a little bit more tested and higher, and we're going to be probably a little more tired now, but
the journey of a marriage, either way, to be honest, right? Like all the different chapters.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if we could, or if we were given the option to not have all those problems and just be kind of like chilling at home and traveling where we want to, but not traveling for volleyball.
Right.
We wouldn't choose that ever.
Right.
So like we are glad to have these problems. It's definitely a blessing to have those problems.
It's good perspective.
Yeah.
Before we go, it's been about an hour, but
sweet.
I wanted to talk about just like what's to come. We talked about earlier. You didn't say goal necessarily. I'm actually curious in the wording of like how people set up goals and like goals versus aspirations, and like what's your guys' perspective on the future now? Obviously, you guys set the bar pretty high early in this particular season. I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, that Olympics is on the radar. Obviously, you already said it. What's the journey looking like now? Are you guys looking too far forward, or where are we at with that? What's to come?
Well, we both have a big board in our bedroom. It's like our goals and dreams board. Yeah. Yep. Hers looks different than mine, but they're both similar in that we definitely put out into the universe what we want to happen. But we basically have been taking it year by year.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And that's like in life outside of volleyball and life in volleyball too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Olympics is on the radar, but I think to think about that right now, especially in our sport, is like kind of chaotic for the mind.
Right. Very overwhelming.
That's why I was kind of wording it. How you guys?
I mean, honestly, the goal right now is qualify for world championships and like medal as many times as we can on the way.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think for both of us, we'd both love to play in the league too.
Yeah.
And that would be helpful in many ways, and fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, outside of volleyball, we both want to travel to as many places as we can that are not volleyball related. It's hard to.
Yeah, I'm like, we don't have a lot of time.
It's hard to during the season.
Be like, I don't want to go anywhere.
Yeah, I want to stay home.
We want to stay home for sure.
No, I'm the same way. I have definitely places I want to go, but none of them are even close to being on tour.
Yeah.
Except for there was a Futures in Tahiti. I'll go back there.
Yeah.
Well, I went to Tahiti. Yeah. I went to that one.
I went there last year on my own to get away from volleyball.
Are you serious?
Yeah, me and Gabby, we took Naya out there and hung out for 2 weeks.
That's amazing.
That is really cool. Yeah. That's a cool spot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we have very similar goals, which is cool because we're able to push each other and like keep each other in line and also like bring perspective, so we're not like absolutely just crashing out on volleyball.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we have all of those on the radar, and that's kind of just how our year's going, and not looking too far ahead because that can make the goals feel really scary and large.
And it is far. A few years is so close yet so far. Like I can't believe that would be my, I don't know, 4th quad that I've attempted or whatever.
That's so impressive.
Like, wait,
they do fly by.
4 years sounds. The last quad was like 2.5.
Yeah.
2 years, but quad. But yeah, no, it goes super fast, but it's also a really long time to like be like stuck on one thing.
Yeah. Absolutely. But it's always in the back of our minds. I think.
For sure. Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah, it always feels the longest when you are able to, or longer when you're able to come up for air and you're out of volleyball for a second. You're like, wow, this has been a long journey so far. And then when you go back in, you're like, man, all this stuff. Here we go.
Are going by fast.
I have to really want to commit back to this.
Yeah. And then you get that one tournament going. You start to get the, you find yourself underneath the water again, and then you're going again.
And you're like, don't come up.
Yeah.
Don't come up. Yeah. Until it's over. Just tell me when it's over.
That's the life of the athlete, man. Like,
that's fair.
Yeah.
Any sponsors or anyone you guys want to shout out? Family or anyone?
She's got a new one.
Vea in Newport. You can't see my pants. Shout out to our families. If you
like the sweats, if you've been watching,
these are
like
nice
the sweats.
This is from Lulu, not a sponsor. No,
we have
families.
Shout out to our families for sure. They've been very supportive friends, friends too. You know who you are. We actually have our own little side business too.
Oh yeah, let us know.
Yeah, it's Upper Left Supply Co. And she makes pottery in her off time.
I do, in our garage.
Oh, sick.
And is really good at it. She's a natural, and so she sells that through that website. And you can get this shirt.
Let me know. Do you need a bowl or anything?
I make some fun little shirts too.
Yeah. We're just like trying to find ways to not
find cool ways to
overwhelm ourselves.
all the stuff we sell.
There's no plan B.
All the stuff we sell is proceeds donated to like National Parks Foundation. We've got a few different causes we donate to.
What is on your website? You sell both the pottery and
it's just in like one collective space.
Upperleftsupply.co.
Yeah.
Upperleftsupply.co. Hell yeah. That's sick. I'll check it out.
Sweet.
Love it. Right on, guys. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Tri.
It's been fun.
It's been a blast.
Everything recorded as far as now.
Woo!
So we're good to go. See, I can do it without Travis. I don't need you, bro. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Shoots.